Hello, ladies and germs, and everything between. I'm gonna stream on the old Tickamatalk real quick, like, if you don't mind. You don't mind, do you? Live. There we go. Hold on. Okay. Now I think we're good. Here we are, live in the studio. I should see how scissors work on trimming this stuff. I assume not quite as great as an X-Acto knife, but let's see. Let's find out. Yeah, having to do the little up and down motion, and then I'm still definitely seeing some flappy doodle there. That's not what I want. What do I want? There we go. Now I can see chat big on my phone. However, I do need to figure out how to get it so... Yeah, there we go. YouTube and TikTok can see. Don't want to play favorites here, guys. Although, hold on, I can do this. I know how to do things. Kinda. Okay, so we got that there. Got this here. How are we on focus? Focus. There we go. Okay, now you can see these rocks all up close and personal. Just the way you want to see foam rocks, up and personal and close. That's one of the great things about these. Hey Taz Pup, I'm making rocks for diorama and wargaming. You can see them a lot better here, where I've gone in and done some coloring on them, but they're cast out of flexible foamy stuff, and yeah, I was trying to develop a set that you can tile together. So one of the neat things about this particular pattern of rock is that you can put them together in all sorts of different configurations to cover any sort of surface you may want to cover with a realistic rock texture. So I'm still in the R&D phases, trying to figure out what is the best material, what's the best way to do the mold, etc., etc. Yeah, thanks for asking, Taz. That's what I'm here for. And thank you for the like. Totally, thank you for the like. Like, you know what I mean? It's like really, it really touches me. Like, totally. Alright, this piece is done. Yeah, so this is how it comes out of the mold. This is the one half of the mold that I created. And I would love to get the process down to where I don't actually have to carve the flashing off of all of these. not found a way to do that yet. Takes, I don't know, maybe about a minute per piece. And the idea is if I want to make a bunch of these so I could like mass produce and sell them, every second counts, you know what I mean? Another thing I think these things would be really cool for is animal terrariums, like for snakes, lizards, turtles. If you have a terrarium that you keep a very loud motorcycle in, it would work well for that as well. Please take the very loud motorcycles that drive by my house all the time. Put them in your terrarium. I would really appreciate it. Especially the ones that drive by at 4:30 a.m. Those would be the best ones for you to take. I don't actually need them anymore. These little triangles are nice because if you've got, let's say you're tiling your rocks like so, okay? But there's like a little gap that you want to fill. These are like the nice little gap fillers that can work between rocks. And they can be flipped in any direction because all the sides are the same size. I've got another set of rocks that is a different pattern that is super interesting, but they cannot be just like flipped at a whim, because in order to get them to tile, they have to be facing one of two particular ways. It's really interesting. It was a pattern that was developed with AI. So this shape right here. So it's very interesting, but also very challenging. Figure out how to fit them together. So like, there we go. Okay, so that is one way to fit them together, right? But you can't just like flip it. Like, say you like this particular pattern and you want that facing out, then you, you better pick that one, and then the other one you've got to flip to match it in whatever way that is. Oh my God, these are so tricky to get together. But anyway, yeah, so the theory is, well, not the theory, the proven fact is that the AI figured out this shape because it can be tiled infinitely without like really like noticeable tiling pattern. Did the bleach burn my scalp? No, I've never had problems with bleach burning me. I'm impervious to the burn. It's probably because I'm a naturally very greasy person, I think. So I always have plenty of oils to protect me. Thanks, TableTop. I am excited about this. I really hope to develop this into a product that a lot of people would get a lot of joy out of, because there are a lot of products out there for people who can make molds and do casts and like work with clay and stuff like that, but there's a lot bigger group of people who either can't do that, don't have the talent for it, don't have the time for it, you know, they're too young or too old, etc., etc. So I really love the idea that I could make the stuff that people can just take a pile of trash, like let's say this is garbage, you're gonna throw it away, right? But they want to make a little castle for their gecko or for their wargaming campaign. They could just take one of these textures, you know, buy it from me, and then just hot glue it on there. And now you have like a cool little castle, right? So really excited about this. All right, now the next thing I gotta do is get this resituated back in here. Initially, when I made this mold, the plan was that Oh, feed is breaking up. Ah, that's too bad. Well, for whoever can hear me, the goal is to, or originally these were all like vents that would vent the material out, but that wasn't working so great. So I cut grooves in the sides, and so these are sort of vestigial nubbins there. I wonder why I would be breaking up. I think my connection is super solid. Thank you, TableTop. I appreciate it. I'm selfishly hoping that the problem is on your end and not my end. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of tricky to get all the little nubbins bits back in there. Trying to wiggle them all down to get this seated back in the mother mold. Hey, Delicious. You hear me fine? Awesome. Yeah, apparently my feed to TikTok, which I'm simultaneously streaming to TikTok, apparently that one is not doing too great. But my YouTube connection is hardwired, so it better be good. I don't know, maybe it's hogging up too much bandwidth. I really, you know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna cut these off. I do not need all these funny little nubbins. You're in a southern state, so you've got massive heat wave and spotty infrastructure, huh? I mean, not to generalize, but that is the case in a lot of southern U.S. states, assuming you mean a U.S. state. So I think if these are shorter, they won't have as much of a problem. I don't want to cut them down completely flat because I'm worried about, like, some of them still are venting a little bit. Like you can see a little bit like right here coming out of the little nubbin, right? And it's almost like a blackhead or something where you can pull it out. Well, should be able to. So I've been casting this in a couple different things, and some are easier to pull out than others, but ultimately most of them are kind of clogged, and I'm fine with that. I'm just leaving them clogged because it's too much of a like large reset to get these working between every cast, to have to like clear out all of these pipes. I don't even know how many there are, but I feel like I'm giving a really weird alien a haircut, like a painful haircut. Boing. It's probably the weirdest thing I've done in a good while, but also fun and funny. Okay. Hopefully this will all just kind of settle down now. Settle down now. Ah, come on. What is catching? Something's still catching. If it continues, the beatings will continue until morale improves. That's gonna be my stance on these little alien nubbins. Josh is a great name, you say? I'll pass along that appreciation. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It is fine. I am fine with being a Josh. The great thing is my dad's name is Frank, so we have the reoccurring joke of I'm just joshing you. Now I'm going to be frank with you, or vice versa. Is your name Josh Tazpup? Unexpected body horror. Yes. Oh, so the thing that was not. Oh, look at this. Okay, I gotta. Speaking of body horror, tryptophobia alert. Sorry, anyone who has that problem. Yeah. So when they were longer, I can like grab them and pull them out, which helps seat it in. But I could see one of the nubbins right there is like not going in the hole. Go in the hole. Oh, there it is. I saw it go by. Okay, I'm just gonna cut away. Let me try to find it. Is it this one? It might be that one. See, the shorter I cut them, the less I can grab them to pull them through. On the other hand, if I cut them short enough altogether, it won't be a problem at all. Except, like I said, my concern is that some of the material is going to ooze out and then, like, stick it into the mother mold. I don't know how much I should actually worry about that, and I'm probably inevitably going to end up doing that anyway, because this is just a ridiculous reset time. Every mold has a reset time, right, where it takes a little bit of time to get things back and situated. But this amount of time is silly. It's silly. Like these mint green nipples are silly. All right, is everything in yet? Nope. Look at that. See, still missing some right in there. Okay. Another thing I could do is carve down the mother mold a little bit as well to help grab them nubbins. But I think we're pretty good now. Hey Megaton! How's it going? Dr. Dave, how's it going? What am I making? I'm making a box of rocks. Making stuff for diorama and wargaming. So I carved / sculpted these rocks into these particular shapes, and now I am trying to figure out the best way to mold them. So I've been doing different kinds of experiments with different kinds of molds. And so far this one is like, it's mid-tier. I'll be honest. It's not the best, but it is better than it was. So I'm about to do this one again. I haven't done foam it in this new configuration, let's call it, where I vented the sides. So you can see all the places where there's like these little gaps in the mold there. So I cut those in so that when the foam expands, it has a place to escape the mold. So the idea is it fills up the cavity, it pressurizes in there, it you can see it gets into almost all of the nooks and crannies on there, and then the rest of it squeezes out of the side. Yeah, so I want to try, now that I've got this different technique, I'm going to try some foam it again. The other foam its that I've used, I had the problem of getting a lot of these like little gaps in the foam, like that one. I mean, just a lot of little areas, some worse than others. Let's see, this was another one that I did. Anyway, yeah, however, now that I've got this new thing, I'm going to see, and maybe that will make it so the foam is compressed better or differently in some way, and it works better. Okay, so foam it is fun stuff to make sponges with. Not real sponges. I don't think you could actually use it for sponge. I would not recommend it. However, you can mold anything you like and have a spongy version of whatever, like a hammer, a brick, a rock, you know. It's fun stuff. It is also very stressful to work with because it's pot life, the amount of time it lasts from when you start mixing it to when it starts like kicking off and expanding, I believe is 35 seconds. So you have to be super prepped, have everything ready to go from the get-go. And it's helpful to have some coating both sides of the mold, which is very hard to do, given that the mixing itself takes at least 15 seconds to get a nice consistent mix. So yeah, it's it is, well, you're gonna see what it is. You're about to see. Thanks, Taz. Thanks for joining. Have a great rest of your day. Okay, so this uses 1 to 2 by volume. So where are my little cups at? Here they are. So let's see, I can pour some into one cup, the same amount into the same cup. That's a good way to do it. I wish I had, well, I guess I could use a measuring cup for this, couldn't I? It would be less wasteful. On the other hand, I'd have to go find a measuring cup, and I'm just in no mood to go searching for measuring cups right now. Nuno, hello. Welcome from across the pond. Okay, let's double check our numbers here. So this is part B. You do 1 of A to 2 of B. So twice as much of this stuff as this stuff. Yes, so if I make a mark on one, let's say I want that. It's good. The thing is, like, I wish these cups were perfect cylinders, because then I could literally just measure and be like, okay, here's like 1/2 inch, here's another 1/2 inch. But because the cup is tapered, it's going to be, you know, it's less. I just don't know how much less. So if I do up to a line, pour it into another cup, up to a line, pour it into another cup, I still, that still doesn't solve, like I still, spending way too much time trying to figure out how to use as few of these cups as possible, just because it really, like, wasting stuff, especially plastic stuff, is very bothersome to me. I'm very torn about how so much of my art requires so many chemicals and so much environmental impact. Get that line in the same place. This. Well, right, I can use one as a measure, but then if I pour it into that cup and then pour another into this cup, then it doesn't change the number of cups I'm using, unless I'm not thinking this through clearly enough. Because then I still have to pour a third cup with the other stuff, and you can't mix the two together until the very last second. Otherwise, you're doomed. You'll never get the mold closed in time. These lines are also so imprecise, it's not, it probably would have been fine just going to approximately double the height. My wife's pros are outside asking where she is. You've used foam it so many times? Do you have any secrets for how to avoid bubbles? Because I'm still having problems with that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and combine these two to start. Yeah, I hear you, buddy. Sorry. She's out getting an infusion. She needs liquids. But she'll be back. We'll go for a walk and you'll get lots of cashews. Mix slowly. I don't have time to mix slowly. I have 35 seconds. Like, if I mix it slowly, then there's like almost zero time to pour. Use Vaseline demolder on the mold. So I've never had a problem demolding because this is obviously silicone. Oh my God, platinum. It's a platinum. You know, it's rebound 40. So I've been able to pull anything I like out of there without problem. Does using a demolder help like the foam like skin to the details? Is that why? I mean, you know what? I've got demolder. Why not? Let's give it a go. I'm gonna spray this real quick. Now, I'd really rather not use Vaseline because that makes painting it a real chore. Like, you can't really wash this stuff, right? Because it's so spongy, it just soaks in paint and water. So, like, how would you get the Vaseline off of it? I am using Smooth On, but it is specifically Flex Foam at 3. Yeah, to avoid bubbles with regular resin, I usually, well, I put it in a pressure chamber if it'll fit, and I'll usually dust the mold with talcum powder. Oh, no problem. You know, I always appreciate any feedback. Always appreciated. Okay, so let's see. Vacuum or vibrate it. Yeah, Dr. Dave, this stuff kicks off so fast that there's no time to get it in like 35 seconds. You can't even get the, like, turn on the vacuum pump. And with my vacuum pump to get up to the 29 mercury required, it takes like about 2 minutes. So that's way beyond that. Okay, the other thing I wanted to do, I just wanted to experiment with this, is add my pigment to the mix after I've mixed the whole thing and just kind of swirl it a little bit so I can get sort of a, potentially, I don't know, I might get a kind of a marbled look that way. But given the way the foam like fizzes and expands, I don't know. I have no idea what to expect. We're just gonna find out. That's what this R&D phase is for. Okay, am I prepped? So I've got my, let me get all my clamps ready for action. I've got my other side of my mother mold here. Let's get these out of the way, so in case I need to put something down somewhere, I'm not like tripping over myself. All right. I'm gonna eat the second. Well, I might eat a second or two because I'm not going to change anything else. I'm just gonna add the drop in the last like 5 seconds of mixing. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be fun. It'll be stressful fun. Just the way I love it. Okay. Probably best to pour from here into there. And then from there, pour into our third cup so that we don't have any unequal mix. Is it better to go from here to here? I might still have a little bit too much of this stuff, so I'm gonna... Oh, there you go, there you go. Better idea. I'll just put my drop in here. So when I transfer to my third container, it'll have the pigment in there already, and then that's kind of the last couple seconds of the mix, right? All right, let's see if this works. Okay, we're going to start the countdown. Is everyone ready to be stressed? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, trying to get it in all the little deeper cavities as much as I can. But yeah, this is a fool's errand to try to, yeah, there's no way, no time. Okay, flip it. Just gotta have faith in the vents. It's up to the vents now. If they can't save it, nothing will. Oh, come on. What are you doing? There we go. All right. Squeeze as tight as I can get it without distorting the mold. Now let's watch these vents and see if stuff starts oozing out or not. While it's doing that, I am going to go to my Discord and see if my YouTube notified my Discord members that I was going live. No, it did not. It did not. It's very bad at doing that. Pour at the same time into it. Oh, look at that nice ooze coming out of there. I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, maybe you're referring to something I was saying like 2 minutes ago. Layer it and mix it in the mold. The problem with mixing anything inside the mold is that, like, if it's not in a container where you could scrape the sides really cleanly, you're gonna get a really uneven mix. That's a pretty fun ooze we got going on there. Ew. Ew. I hope I'm not giving anyone like schoolyard bully flashbacks. How are we doing on our other vents? So it's coming out of this one more than the other vents. In fact, there's none coming out of here. I don't know if that should concern me or not. We got it coming out of here, here, yeah. Everywhere but not this side for some reason. I mean, there are plenty of obvious reasons, such as the amount that I put in the different chambers was in no way equal, right? Yeah, I don't think it's because it's tilted, because this stuff, like, gravity has almost no effect on it. It's just like an expanding foam monster. Often if you're like pouring it into a mold, like with a big funnel, you can get it and pour in. Your crow was asking about you just like 5 or 10 minutes ago, hun.
Did it sound like a baby?
No, I think it sounded like the mama.
I really have to go pee, so they'll probably come right now when I go.
The 2 components into the 3rd cup that had the tint in it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely less concerned about the color because I end up, you know, probably painting over everything anyway. But, so I believe this is, let's see, can be handled 25 minutes, cures in 2 hours. So what time do we have now? It's about 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. So I'm gonna set this aside while it does its thing until about 6 or later. And check out this mold. So this is taking the theory of how I adjusted that first mold and applied it more from the ground up, hopefully. I'm sure I'm still going to learn more that I can apply to the next mold that I make. This is not exactly the same. It's the same shape of like triangles, but it's like 4 of the triangles fused together into a bigger rock face. Yeah, YouTube bot didn't do it at all. I manually put that in. I checked it because I saw almost no one was popping onto YouTube. And apparently I just need to manually do it every time and just remember to do that. Okay. That's a good hearty sandwich. So let's see if we can unsandwich it. By the way, Tomorrow Kiddo, I assume you are the same, very similar sounding name that just give me a pledge on Patreon. If so, thank you so much. There are reasons I can't go into right now that that kind of support is especially helpful. Oh, Fizz is off to find a better bot. Awesome. Thank you for that coin for the Witcher. Yeah, that's usually when I Patreon people too, and I realize, you know what? I've been watching a bunch of their videos and I'm learning a lot. They should get something for that. No, I've just been in here for like the past, I don't know, like hour, and just like about 10 minutes before you got here.
Don't they know when the car's home?
don't know. Maybe they were confused because they saw me.
Wow. The blood pressure cuff was squeezing a little higher
Mm-hmm.
or harder, so it broke a bunch of capillaries. Like I have lines.
Oh.
I hate it when it does that. It wasn't like.
Oh, just from the pressure of it?
Yes.
Yikes.
Yeah, like I get that a lot, but it's very obnoxious. So now I'm gonna have like broken capillaries, like these lines. That's how those feel. Man, we might have to like secure that hollyhock.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty sturdy.
Yeah, I'm surprised how sturdy it is. Well, I mean, I guess compared to the sunflower that had like a 30-pound flower on the end.
But they're gonna be more blooms. And that wind. But God, they look so cool. I mean, it is impressive.
Yeah.
That's like almost as tall as our window.
If it does get up to our window, it's going to be like really startling when it's windy because you'll just see like movement out the window, like right next to the window. Yeah.
If I open the door to warm it up, then it's going to get even colder.
Mm-hmm. I put the new bird feed in the bird feeder. They ran out. It's got a lot of, it's like almost 50% sunflower or like little-ish sunflower seeds. So I don't know if it's gonna.
It's in the little one, right?
Yeah.
The glass one.
Mm-hmm.
I do still like it. I mean, it has the other small seeds.
Yeah, it's still got lots of little round bits, but.
If anything, the Junco will just come up to me anyways. They like those little ones, but the Junco comes right. You know, it's so cute. I am hearing a baby crow over here, so.
Well, maybe it was. I don't have as fine-tuned senses as you do about that sort of thing.
Well, it wouldn't have been just a baby by itself. Rose. Rose. Definitely be a different, different crow.
Such a delicious looking sandwich I've got here. People tell me all the time, Josh, your sandwiches, they look so delicious. They're maybe the best sandwiches ever. Right, and I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna argue with that. Until they try to eat it, and then I'm like, probably shouldn't eat this. And then I start dancing like MC Hammer. I said, can't eat this. Can't eat this. And then Weird Al shows up and he sues me for making a parody song without a Weird Al license. It's a whole thing. Don't get me started. What are you looking for?
These.
Coming in my shop, stealing my gloves.
Who's on? Nobody?
No,
Nobody's on.
Tomorrow Kiddo is on.
Who are you talking to?
Our Australian
I
friend.
was looking down. Wow.
Oh.
You still looking up?
Yeah, when I'm on YouTube, it only shows the comments on YouTube, and not only that, but it defaults to like paid chat. And so I've streamed a time or two and just completely ignored everyone because I had the chat open but didn't see any of it. Very frustrating.
Wait, you have to pay for a chat?
No. I would only see chats if people did super chats, you know, where they
Sponsored. So
pay.
you're trying to do like a TikTok thing ish. Well, I mean, you don't have to pay for TikTok to do that.
Anyway,
Monetize.
the point is, yeah, I found out later that people were like talking to me, and I was just like, just ignoring them.
So Fizz is on, and you said.
Well, he was, but he went to find a better robot for me.
Oh.
And I'm also on TikTok.
You're on TikTok?
Mm-hmm.
Where? Which camera? Your phone?
My phone right here. TikTok can't see you. I'm sorry.
I think
You'll
Jose,
never be a TikTok star this way.
I think Jose
Should do a collab with me?
should have to follow you now.
Yeah.
If I follow him and watch all his.
That's how that works. And then can he tell everyone to follow me?
I mean, if I could get 1,000 followers, I could live stream. How fun would that actually? It might be fun, like with the birds and stuff. I might actually do. We'll never know because I'll never get 1,000 followers. I've never.
Never say never,
anything.
honey.
Everyone, go follow Heatherish Things on TikTok.
There you go. The boss has spoken, you know.
Oh, there's a crow. Crow.
Oh,
Come
that
on.
sounds like a baby, huh?
I don't.
No?
Crow. Where are you? Did you hear me? Where'd you go?
Well, now you guys not only have crows, but you have the, what are the black and white birds that make all those crazy sounds?
Magpies.
Magpies?
To meet an Australian magpie.
Yeah, Heather really wants magpies.
Where did you go?
We watched this Australian YouTuber whose channel is I Did a Thing, and he does all sorts of fun things with his backyard animals.
Well, he did like 4 videos, but most of it is he's probably broken his leg now. So.
Yeah, most of it is making machinery that you expect to chop an arm or an artery off. Swooping season. The way they play, like hanging upside down, is just too precious. Okay, so we got all our, nope. Got most of our mold box off. Are they dangerous? Like, we have owls in the Pacific Northwest that are more dangerous than people realize. That will go for your face and scalp. I have a friend who got a bunch of stitches. They are dangerous? Yeah. It's amazing what animals are capable of. Like in the Pacific Northwest, we are total easy mode when it comes to nature. Like, we don't have hurricanes or tornadoes or like huge heat or huge cold. Like, well, until fairly recently. Until recently, you know, our biggest problem was like maybe every 5 or 10 years there would be a bad forest fire, but now it's like every year there are multiple bad forest fires, so you get some bad air quality. But like when it comes to animals, like there are almost no well, compared to Australia, especially, like, we've got a couple spiders that are poisonous. We barely have mosquitoes. We don't have ticks in the Pacific Northwest, not many at least. If you go across the mountains to eastern Washington and eastern Oregon, where it's kind of more desert country, there's where you'll start getting ticks and rattlesnakes and stuff like that. But yeah, no poisonous snakes. Yeah, anyway, easy mode nature here in the Pacific Northwest. So anytime I think about the people living in Australia, I'm just like, how do you deal? It sounds so scary all the time. Welcome back, Fizz. Were you successful in your quest? Did you find a better robot? Okay, now we get to play the game, Will It Come Apart? My favorite game. Let's see. Trying to see if there's a natural opening anywhere in here. That's maybe as close as it gets. Like, does everyone have anti-venom just in the house, or is it a, like, race to the ER every time you get bit by a redback? He's the hammer. Yes, eventually that would work. I prefer to try, you know, is it Churchill who said, walk softly and carry a big stick? I'm doing the walking softly part first. Okay, so an ambulance will come out and jab you with your anti-venom, huh? You're on a quest to empty the dog. How is Barkley doing, by the way? Still having respiratory concerns? Okay. I think I'm damaging the mold with how much. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, that's probably fine. Okay, so this mother mold came off of here, but I purposely made it with this pattern on there so that it could easily slot back into place. I'm not going to lose my place, so that's okay. Just spray the deadlies away. Okay, I guess I should have started with just taking the mother mold off, because this is much easier. All right. I'm seeing more bubbles than I would like. I guess next time I need to make sure the first coat is even thinner. It's probably a little aggressive with how thick I made the first coat on the side. That's annoying. But I'm guessing the one on the backside of this will be better. All right. Pop. Oh, a little bit too much torque on there at some point. That's fine. Easy to just glue that back together if I need to mold it again. In fact, I might as well just super glue that back on right now. First, I got to get the residue of rubber off there. Okay. Oh no, I'm still seeing significant bubbles on this side too. Huh. I mean, I guess they are mostly in the deepest cracks. And it is less than, you know, the other one, but still got to work on my bubble game. Oh, must be the wrong way. There we go. Yeah, there's some pretty fun ASMR coming out of here. I just posted a TikTok that had even better. Okay, now for venting, right now there are 0 vents on it. So if I put expanding foam in here, sandwiched it together, it would just like probably explode. So I need to decide how many vents do I want to do and where do I want to do them. One thing that I'm thinking is maybe going minimalist is the best thing to try now, because it is always easy to simply add more vents if it seems like it's not giving me what I need. So if I wanted to do, say, 4, I could do 1 near the tip, near each of the 4 sort of like pointy tips. And the other thing I want to consider is where they're actually going to be coming out, you know, when this stuff is sandwiched together. So I think if they I might be able to do everything on this one piece of rubber, as opposed to like I did on the last one where I had to like cut a trench in there and then super carefully match this up to get it on the other side. So the high points technique is what I tried with the other one, and that's why I had all these funny little alien nubbins, because they were going out in that direction. What I am doing now is more of going to the sides. If I run into a problem of like particular high points having problems, like never filling in. So for instance, you can kind of see on this piece here, see the like soft, shiny, round bits there. That's because these were high points that didn't quite get filled in. So that's the kind of thing that if it keeps happening consistently in the same places, then I can think about adding a vent in a sort of like ad hoc fashion, as opposed to last time where I pretty much just did a generic pass and was like, okay, every high point I'm going to put a dongle in there for a little vent. I'm going to try not doing it that way because that's hard. Okay, so in order to do a vent, I'm just going to pull it out. Let's get a fresh blade. Will Lassley, thank you so much for the follow. Hi, Danlor. Hi, Ababui. Welcome. Welcome to me making crazy molds. And then making crazy rocks from those crazy molds. Okay, so... Oh, you know what? I don't even need this setting in the mother mold for this part. In fact, it's going to be a lot easier if I can kind of keep it held and spread at the same time. Fat Ninja XL, welcome. Give me a like if you're confused and have no idea what I'm doing. What I'm trying not to do is have it pierce out here. Oh yeah, see there's already a little place where it cut through a little bit. But I don't think it's going to be a problem as long as, you know, the mother mold is holding it together. Hold it together, mother mold! Okay, so this little piece, more or less, is the shape of the flashing that's going to be coming through this vent, coming out, right? And so the thicker this is, the more it lets out, and the more pressure is relieved through there. And I don't know what the ideal ratio of size is yet. Like number of these versus the size they should be in comparison to the total volume, and then that again in comparison to the amount of foam that's in there, etc., etc. Right. So this is all the stuff that I'm trying to learn right now. Best way to learn is by trying. Or luring, in the case of Tomorrow Kiddo. Must be a north of Sydney accent thing, I guess. Up in the boonies, you know, where all the hicks live. Or heeks, as they call them in Australia. Boink. Alright, that's pretty good. Sounded more New Zealand than Aussie. It takes practice, yeah? Oh man, that was like South African. Now, there is a problem with venting this particular corner. It's my job is to offend as many nations as possible, Fizz. Yeah, because it's so thin, I can't really like cut a channel there without completely cutting through. But I guess I could just move it down here a little bit. It's probably fine. I'm making it all up as I go along anyway, so let's just say this is just fine to do it this way. Need to master your accent. Don't know, seems pretty easy. You just mumblecore with a slightly British accent. Oh, that was great. That was perfect. You gotta admit that was perfect. You probably thought that was a recording of yourself just now. What do you mean fail, Fizz? You didn't even use the fail horn. How can I trust that that was actually a fail? Too lazy to exclamation point fail me. There we go. Now I feel like a failure. Now I'll learn from my mistakes. Double fail.
Did you eat one?
I had a snack, but I did not eat. Oh well, technically I ate the snack. I didn't just make it and have it. I actually ate it too, but...
Well, if you guys are gonna... Oh, I need to eat something.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'll just make a small salad.
Might. I want to say, Fizz, that I have 2 fails on there, in fact. Let me double check. Oh yeah, I also have fail hard. So if you think that was actually beyond regular fail, try exclamation fail hard. All one word. No, Fizz, I'm not going to feed the Heather. Heather's going to feed herself.
Oh, I just got a video of the baby birds.
Oh,
They
yeah?
responded to my voice.
There it is. That's the fail hard.
She, like, responded to my voice. And I was like, sorry, I'm not mama.
Here's the baby burbs we've got. Let's see, first I'll show
They heard
TikTok.
my voice and they're like, oh, feed me? No, I'm not your mama. Not the mama.
That's a little hungry mouth. That mouth is hungry.
But that's the video of just, like, weird blobs kind of quivering
Yeah.
and shaking. But then he
Massive
like,
bird
watch,
flesh.
then it's like their heads, they can barely support their heads.
Yeah, and so they wiggle.
I think there's an egg that's not hatched.
Mhm.
It's underneath them. He moves around.
Yeah.
Is he moving it?
Yep.
And
So
then-
disturbing.
And then he opens. I'm like,
How can they go from so ugly to so cute? Yeah, there's the egg down
And then I'm like, hi, baby. And he goes,
there.
me?
Hey Andrew, so I use a variety of things for casting. Actually, right now I'm experimenting with using great stuff for casting. Just posted a video on TikTok about that. So I'm using this. I've also been using Foam It, which is an expanding foam. We're gonna see that in, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. I just cast that one. Oh God. What do I cast it next? I just don't know. What should I cast next? Man, my timing's off. I don't have good practice with that lately. Yeah, maybe I should cast in Death next. What is the material? So this is, shoot, it's a silicone rubber called Rebound 40. The great stuff. Oh, that's what you're asking about. So this is for like home repair. Like you can see what they expect you to do with it there. Like you put it in gaps between pipes and stuff in your house. However, you can also use it for art, is what I'm discovering. And it's a lot cheaper than the materials that are designed specifically for art. Also, I apologize for the death metal. That's just something that I have to do if someone plays the death metal. Once per stream, please. Once per stream. Otherwise, my vocal cords get blown out. Okay, so what am I gonna cast in this. I guess I should try more great stuff. I doubt I'm going to get more out of that can. I might be able to get more out of the other one. So let's give that one a try. Correct, Andrew. That is the idea. I'm hoping to make a whole bunch of cool textures that people can buy to put on their dioramas, their wargaming table, their terrariums for their animals. This is the example that I like to show. You can just buy a sheet of this from me, and let's say you've got an empty bottle, and you could hot glue it around, and voila, instant castle, right? So there's a ton of different applications for this kind of stuff that I'm in the process of discovering as I do research and development here. This one is actually made out of great stuff as well. And see, it's got a little bit of flexibility. It's not quite as flexible as the foam it, but you know, it's, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. Oh, thank you so much for those roses, Andrew. I appreciate that. Okay, great stuff. So I experimented with 4 or 5 different kinds of great stuff. This one is specifically made for large gaps, so up to 3 inches. And they do a little better job. So the original here, it's exactly an inch at its thickest point, right? With lots of different thinner points, but I need to make sure, you know, that at its maximum, it's an inch. Which my other, that's what this great stuff, see, it says up to 1 inch. And that's what I cast these in, but it didn't quite get in all the nooks and crannies as well as I hoped it would. And I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. But we're gonna find out. Well, actually, yeah, let's try this first. I'm like 99% sure I'm not gonna get any more out of this because I had to unscrew the cap last time to get it. Oh, we've got a delay on the YouTube. Okay. Art. Mic. Okay. Hopefully that fixes it. Huh. You make dioramas in Ecuador. Oh, cool. Well, Andrew, if you want to show your work off and get like tips and tricks, you should join my Discord. It is at Breath of Life Development on the Discord. If you're on Discord, you should come check it out. Okay, so yeah, didn't expect that to work. Let's see about this. And I just whipped cream it out. I can, all right. And I am shocked. I came into this with 99% confidence I would not be able to get anything else out of here. Let's just keep pushing our luck. Maybe if I keep screwing this lid back on, I can keep using it. You never know. Okay, so is that the right? Yes, that's the right direction. Blop. Blop. Okay, now since my clamps are on my other mold, I'm gonna have to do a weighted one on this. Oh, that's right. Aluminum foil. Sorry, that was probably really obnoxiously loud. Apologize, I should have thought to do that somewhere else. Okay, we're gonna put it down to there. That weight's fairly evenly distributed. All right. Uh-oh. What is my camera having problems with now? There we go. Okay. Cool. Excited to see how that turns out. In the meantime, let's look at some of these guys. So I've been doing experiments to see what is the fastest way to get a, a good enough finish on this, so that people who are not artists who buy this just to tile it on stuff can just use it out of the box. So I was experimenting with, so this one I just sprayed black primer all over. This one, which is out of the same batch, I just did a wash over. And it's not bad. It's not amazing. It's got a cool kind of like bone finish to it, because this color just kind of naturally lends itself to that. But I do want to try some other like things with like getting more browns on there and stuff. And I have, oh, you know what? This is what I should do, because I have a wash that is supposed to be brown, but actually turned out to just be greenish for some reason. I'm not sure why. So I think what I'm going to try is I'm going to take, I put a bunch of this black wash in another container. And so with this one, I'm going to see if I can make it brown and see. It might be this particular ink, this antelope brown, for some reason comes out greenish. When I mix it in here, we'll see. I probably need some more water in here too. How's your bin, by the way? What? What are you talking about, Fizz? Cream-filled mystery fudge. Oh, minty fudge. Minty or mystery. Yeah, either way. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, here's a bunch of the various experiments that I've done so far. So these ones, it was just like spray painting white over a mostly dark base. This one came about because, again, the wash ended up more green than I liked. So I was like, yeah, let's just run with it and see how green it turns out. And then, yeah, this is the brown one. So I'm getting lots of fun effects. But again, I'm just trying to figure out what is the fastest one that I can possibly pull off. Because presumably, you know, we're gonna have people who are very good at painting who buy these, and they're just gonna completely paint over them. And we're gonna hopefully get even more people who are just not artists, but they are creative and they want to make stuff. And so I want the product that comes in the mail to be something that is like pretty good looking, but that didn't take like an hour to paint, you know. That's the goal. Okay, speaking of goals, let's see what our nearly brown wash ends up looking like. I've got this little bin so I can catch all my paint in there. You're calibrating your screens and not paying attention. How dare, Fizz? How dare. Yeah, I don't know. Does this look greenish to you, or is it just like I am one I'm allergic to this color. No, I am slightly colorblind somewhere in the brown green, like in one narrow brown green spectrum, and this may be it. Like, this color may literally just look green to me, even though it's not. It doesn't look super green. It looks like a really drab olive green to me. And maybe it also has to do with the color that it's going over, right? Because this is like a yellowish color that it's tinting. But I feel like what I need to do is get a more, a redder brown to make a different wash. Because this is consistently hounding me. How can you get my Discord server? You're gonna have to search. I can't really link on TikTok, unfortunately, but I can spell it for you. It's the word breath, which is BREATHE, and then of life, OF, and then LIFE, and then finally development, which is DEV, ELO. Oh man, this is awful. Develop, PMENT. I'm sure that wasn't helpful at all to you, but I did my best, Andrew. Did my best. Yeah, Fizz, sadly, the Andrew is on TikTok, so they can't get your link. It is on the greener end of browns. Yeah. And I'm guessing it's just because that antelope brown ink that I have is, yeah, just tends that way instead of the redder side of brown. Tell them to go to Discord. Oh, really? I mean, is that going to be more helpful? Okay, Andrew. Breath of life. Oh, close. The life is an F, as in Frank, not a V. So Life. Otherwise, very close. Apparently, you could also go to discord.gg/ Okay, are you ready to type this down? U as in uncle, J as in Josh, N as in Nancy, A as in apple, P as in pomegranate, E as in escape, and S as in silent. There you go. If you manage to get that typed in, then you could get to my Discord. If you're on Discord, searching on there, or on a website. But since you're on a phone, I doubt it. Chaotic Sounds, hello. You're confused by the art that I do and then seeing this live? Because this live stuff is different? I wonder why my music just stopped. It was just like we're done. Oh, look at that. Pretzelrocks.com was just like, we're done. Sorry, buddy. Lord Dragon XF, I mean, I just spelled it out for you. You're high and had to put it all together. Okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair. I don't expect anyone who's high to be able to follow what's going on here. I mean, I barely follow what's going on here, and I've literally never been high. So no problem. No problem. I mean, look at me. Do I look like the kind of guy who gets high? Also, hilariously, Chaotic Sounds, my birthday is 4/20. If you can believe it, it is true. But I have decided that when I turn 50, I am going to try the marijuana. Just for philosophical reasons. I've got to try it at least once in my life. And if I make it to 50, then that'll be the sign. You searched in Discord, but no results? No, it's definitely not private. Fizz posted a link, like, I don't know, 10 comments up. Maybe if you came in after that, you don't see it. Fizz, can you post a link to the Discord again? Andrew, you made it. Oh, congrats. Use it for depression, but also starting to get therapy. Awesome. Awesome. Therapy can be amazing if you find the right therapist. Just an outside perspective to talk things through with is great. Highly recommend. You entered the link in the browser and it worked. Okay, okay. But not when you were on Discord, actually. So you searched Breath of Life development and it did not come up. That's concerning. Maybe they shadow banned me. They don't like the positive vibes of my Discord, or the fact that I, didn't pay for Discord Nitro or whatever. Create dioramas helps you to deal with panic attacks. Yeah, yeah. Art can be amazing therapy. I'm sorry you have to deal with that. That's no funsies. I know lots of people who have that same problem. You need to be listed on the community pages. Oh, I see. We have to have more people. You did not search for Breath of Life development, Ed? Oh, Lord Dragon did, but you're saying you did not. Before the server can be searched, you need 1,000 members. Hit metrics about people who talk. Oh, okay. How many do we have? I'm kind of surprised it's not 1,000 yet. Are we close? I mean, it's a nice, cozy community. I like it that way. Not complaining, but it would be nice to be able to just tell people, look for Breath of Life development, and they could just, like, find it. That would be nice. 269, that's not close. Fizz, get to work. Get us more members. Andrew, you're Lord Dragon? Wait, you're watching on YouTube and on TikTok? That's awesome. Everyone should do that. Double the numbers. I'm getting, like, so many pennies now. If I work harder, more people will come to my Discord. Is that the trick, Fizz? I'll think about it. Maybe if I do a few more 8-hour streams every week, that would get me the precious numbers that I need. You got depression and anxiety due to your COVID. Oh man, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know a couple people that COVID really like messed up, both psychologically and physically. Like my brother's girlfriend has been like in and out of the ER almost like every week, it seems like, with like the heart almost stopping and like terrible lung issues and etc. Yeah, that's rough. And so many people just think, it's over. I don't hear about it in the news, so we don't have to worry about COVID anymore. It's like, I wish. I'm especially like aware of it because my wife is disabled, and the doctor says she would probably die if she got COVID. So we have not got it, and we've been like super careful for the past 3+ years. It really helps that I'm able to work from home. It's a huge privilege that I have, that I'm Very thankful for, and hope I do not lose it ever. Because you have a server admin, it's almost at 1,000 people still can't get it set up. Wait, almost 1,000? I mean, that's why, right? Because you haven't hit 1,000 yet. You also have to have like a certain threshold of activity on a regular basis. Yeah, it's kind of like on Twitch. You have to have not just a certain number of viewers or whatever, but it has to be consistent across time, and there's all these other metrics you have to hit. Comic book server. I hear comic books are popular with the kids. Is that true? Yeah, that's true. Kids, the younger generation, especially the manga. Manga. I don't get it. I don't get the manga. Too old. Even though I literally grew up as a young child in Japan, I do not get manga. Oh, thank you, Tomorrow Kiddo. I don't, I see on TikTok right now, it's saying there are 0 people watching, so maybe it doesn't count if you're on the desktop. Yeah, I do very little social media on my phone. Like almost everything computer related I do on my desktop, where I have a keyboard and I can type without feeling like I'm taking 10 times longer than I want to say anything, and then also saying it poorly. All right, so these have got a nice wash on them. I'm pretty happy with. These ones and these ones I just want to dry brush. So let's do some dry brushing. Okay, my favorite dry brush is this makeup one. Good for applying powder, kind of. So I'm going to go with a medium gray. I think I've got an ivory too. Way too old for TikTok? Yeah, I mean, me too. But, yeah, as a creator, you have to be, like, as diversified as possible if you ever hope to catch on. So, I just make myself do it. Oh, there it is. I do have to say, though, my assumption about what TikTok is and what kind of content is on there was inaccurate. Well, it was accurate about a portion of it. I don't know how big that portion is, but I personally never run across most of the really garbage, annoying BS that is on there. I have no dances on my feed. I have no, you know, voluptuous women making mouth sounds at the camera. I see like beautiful landscape shots, like drone shots, a lot of nature photography and video, animals, artists, builders, etc. So that is the one thing I will say about TikTok is that they do a good job of like figuring out what you actually want to see and providing that to you automatically. Not I get maybe not completely automatically. You know, I did some searches and looked for particular things. You know, dioramas and yes, the scenery and art and that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to start with this medium gray on these black rocks. That seems like a good start. You found me on Twitch? Yeah, and I've been doing Twitch for, I don't even know how many years now. At least 5 years, probably quite a bit more because I always underestimate in my memory how long I've been doing a thing. And that was definitely a hurdle for me to psychologically get over. I mean, every time I get onto another platform, it's it feels like another hurdle, making another account and all figuring out, okay, how do I get my links on here? One thing I learned is that none of these platforms want you sharing external links to other stuff. And, I guess for obvious reasons, they want people to only stay on their platform. But for the creators, it sure would be very convenient if you could direct people to sort of your main platform, which in my case would be YouTube. But yeah, they do not like, and basically shadow ban your content if you try sharing links to other stuff. Yeah, it's kind of terrifying. Heather watches a lot of TikTok Disney streamers. She loves Disneyland, and she's kind of come to grips with the fact that due to her disability, she's never going to be able to go again. And, it's comforting for her to just like walk along with these people as they visit Disneyland or Disney World or other theme parks. But they all like went down last night, and so she was showing me like the main feed or whatever, like the recommended page for live streamers or whatever that she was just scrolling through. There was some truly terrifying stuff on there. I was like, it felt like almost like the the Rick and Morty episode where they're watching intergalactic cable or whatever, and it's just like all these bizarre people doing bizarre things. I guess I would fit right on in just like hands painting a weird shaped rock, you know, but I also don't have the bust line to compete. Maybe I need to work out more. Are they ducks? Are who ducks? The streamers? You have anatidophobia. I assume that's fear of ducks. YouTube police are ducks? Oh, I didn't realize that. I mean, it makes sense. Hi, Lilypad. Welcome to me painting rocks. Not real rocks, mind you. Foamy rocks. Fear of ducks watching you? No. That's somewhere a duck is watching. We have some ducks that visit the pond that's about, I don't know, a quarter mile from us, over the next house or two. And in the evening especially, we'll just randomly hear what sounds like almost like a Looney Tunes duck laugh. It's like wah, 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 wah. Heather thinks they're laughing at her. So she might have that same condition. Okay. So this seems like a fairly fast. I'm trying to decide if it's faster or slower than what I need to do is actually time this after I have a little more data and just like say, okay, is it faster to do a wash or a dry brush? You know, or start with a dark base, build up with dry brush, or start with a light base and darken with a wash. Or do we really need to do both? Again, I'm trying to think like, how do I minimize the number of minutes it takes to produce each of these? And if dry brush, do we do 2 shades of dry brushing, or is 1 sufficient? Well, yeah, I know. Someone's going to be doing it for me. The hope is you're the one doing it for me. But the hope is you get paid as much per hour to do so as possible. That's the hope. And so the more efficient the process is, the more bank you make. Assuming the Kickstarter gets the attention I hope it does, and we actually start getting orders for this stuff. Sure would be. I keep waiting for you to move up to Washington, Fizz. I don't know what's taking you so long. I sure as hell am not moving to Houston. Something that might be interesting to experiment as well is like some color variation. It's probably overthinking it, but I guess the problem with color variation too is that you could end up with like a bluish blob that just like stops at that line, and then it's like a pinkish blob, or you know, it wouldn't be that extreme, but okay, good. I just talked myself out of color variation. Congratulations. I guess one thing that could add a little variation that wouldn't cause as much of a problem would be a very simple spatter pass. Calibration made a big difference. Calibration in what? 3D printer? Oh, your screens. That's right. You're calibrating your screens. I have seen your computer desk before. I don't remember if it had 3 screens on it. Have you recently added a third, or have you had 3 for a long time? Still not quite dry. Yeah. That's nice. Let's see if I can do one more. Subtle. Subtle, mind you. Dry brush pass. Dry brushing is dangerous, slippery slope. Because it's just like it's so fun and easy. You just want to keep going, and you just keep going lighter and lighter shades until it turns cartoony. No. Your resin printer is working well? Good, good. And you're waiting for your third hot end. Okay. I'm happy enough with where these guys are. I'm gonna add them to my box of tests. These ones, I'm probably still gonna want to do another dry brush pass on them. But let's see how our foam it turns out. I've learned to take special care of these brushes and wash them very thoroughly with like brush cleaner and everything after each use, because they tend to harden up into gross garbage really fast if you don't. Yeah, I recommend not doing that. Pro tip is don't drive it into the bed. You started using brush soap ever since you got your nice brushes? Okay. Still nothing coming out of here, so my guess is that at least one of these rocks is going to be only partially formed. None coming out of here, or big reveal time. Oh, look at all them bubbles. I'm just not happy with Foam It, not for this application. But I'm happy that I tried it a lot. So I can be fairly confident in dismissing it. It is interesting that I did get some of the marbling that I was hoping for. But since it's the sponge material, it's very difficult to paint it without like pretty much completely covering. You don't want these pancakes? This is my beautiful waffle iron here. Alright, I'm trying to decide if I want to do another set of great stuff set of these, because I've done most of the paint tests that I need to kind of as proof of concept. I really need to, and I still keep forgetting to do this, I need to date, like put a date on them and see like over time do they get brittle and like crumbly or anything like that. Because so far great stuff has the best results. The professional expanding foam that I've tried is inferior in almost every way, which is surprising. And there's still a lot of different kinds of expanding insulation foam like great stuff that I haven't tried yet. And so it's possible I will find a particular version of it that has the properties, exact properties that I want. That is like has the flexibility that this does. Although I'm less obsessed with flexibility now than I was when I was envisioning the project. Especially for these bigger, thicker boys. Yeah, look at that. Look at that pretty marbling. Isn't that nice? It's nice and subtle. Which I suppose you could achieve just by airbrushing as well. It makes me wonder if there's not a way to kind of achieve that with the great stuff. Last time I tried mixing paint in with the great stuff while it was still curing, it turned into an awful mess. But that was early in my experiments, and so other factors may have been playing a role. So maybe that's something I'll give a try. Maybe with the So Strong instead of acrylic paint. I can just like dribble some of it around, see what happens. just wonder, like, this is so much thinner than the original. It must like expand and then collapse back in on itself a little bit. That's the only. I guess this one is particularly thinner than the others. Let's compare a different one. This one. Okay. I'm wrong. This one just happens to be quite a bit skinnier in most places. It's still 1 inch from top to bottom at certain points so that it can like sit and fit with all these other ones, but it's yeah, it worried me that maybe I've just taken it out of the mold too soon or something. I don't know. Get a friend, make Shauna a birthstone necklace for your 15th anniversary. Happy anniversary. Alexandrite gem and a moonstone. Oh, that is beautiful. Have you given it to her yet? Has it been, is it your anniversary yet? Or I sculpted Heather's engagement ring, and I wanted to make something really unique. Like, this is a really unique piece of jewelry, right? It doesn't look like something you would necessarily, like, you know, find at a jewelry store or whatever. Maybe you'd find it in a beach town jewelry shop or something, but yeah, so I made a I think the design is in my other sketchbook. It's not this one, but I thought it was very cool. It was unique. It looked like some kind of like cool power relic or something. Heather, you know, I surprised Heather with an engagement. You know, took her for a walk in the woods. Had my friend secretly photograph it when I gave her the ring. It was embedded in a book. The book was called Why, and it was all the reasons why we should get married, and it was illustrated and had like pop-up pages of like different experiences we'd shared together and values that we shared and stuff like that. And you know, in the back of the book was the ring, and she was very happy and very excited and said yes. Spoiler alert, my wife did say yes when I asked her to marry me. However, she hated the ring. Hated the way the ring looked. However, because I'm such an amazing fiance, I found a way to salvage it, which was basically to make the wedding ring go over the engagement ring, because the engagement ring had a really cool like triangle shaped diamond, and she did like that. I got that in an auction for like $600. It's an amazing steal. And then I think the ring, you know, since I sculpted it myself, but I don't have the equipment to cast it and everything, so a professional jeweler did the casting for me, and that was like maybe another couple $100. So like all told, her ring was incredibly cheap for what it is, which is good because that's all we could afford. I had 2 little kids, like a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. So anyway, yeah, so what I did was I took the engagement ring and like sculpted around it all these like winding ivy and stuff like that, and then made sure that she liked it, in fact loved it, and wanted to have it forever. And then I sculpted around it in wax. That's how you do it. And then so I took it's like a cage that it goes around it, the other one. And fortunately, the jeweler I was working with is like really good. He's a kind of world-renowned sculptor. He's got like this shop in Bellevue that's been there forever. Anyway, yeah, so he was able to cast that fragile, delicate thing and put it over the engagement ring, and so it was salvaged in the end. I'm really glad that Heather loved me and trusted me enough to let me know that she actually hated a piece of art that I made for her, and and we got it corrected as a result of good, positive, healthy communication. It started our marriage off really well. Okay, so we've got these cleared out. It's fine that I have a little rock that didn't quite make it, but shockingly, all the rest of them filled out just fine. So that's cool. We'll see if there's a way to do a wash on these and preserve that marbling. In the meantime, I'm gonna try to paint marbling into the mold and see what happens. Yeah, to do actual like lost wax casting, anything fancy, you you gotta have a lot of really expensive equipment. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take one of my little garbage brushes. Now this is not water-based, I don't think, and so I'll be curious to see the effects that it has, if any, on the great stuff. Although going through all the trouble of like painting this marbling on in here means that I could just paint it on the final cast. So what I need to do is see, is there actually a time-saving way to do this? Just like be really, really fast and sloppy about it, and maybe that in some way would save time. Because the expanding foam might like grab this and spread it around or dilute it, or who knows. It's just be interesting to see. It is interesting that it hits the highlights on the negative, which means it's the low lights on the positive. That makes me wonder if it would be like a good reverse dry brushing, because it will make all the deepest cracks darker. Although I'm also hitting the flat surface as well, so it's not perfect in that regard. But yeah, I don't think this is going to be giving us anything that just doing this same technique on the final piece wouldn't do. Oh man, did I just spatter so strong on my face? That's not good. The stuff is, um, say it with me. This stuff is so strong. Good enough. Let's see. Foil. 3D printed ring, mold it, cast it in wax, positive fat. Then yes, jewelers do that indeed. They've been doing that for like almost a decade, if not more. Look up the jewelry of I can't remember his first name, but his last name is very unique. So if you type in jewelry and then Wittelsbach, it's like Wittlesbach, something like that. He does amazing jewelry in ZBrush. Oh, your headphones died just in time to not hear what I told you to do. Okay, will it restart? That just never stays in. Something is not seated right, I think. Okay. Cool. All right. I'm going to leave it at that. Gonna sign off from the old TikTok. Goodbye, everybody. Whoops. Nope, that didn't work. Okay. Now let's see if I can sign off. There we go. All right. See you next time, everyone. Bye. Okay. Now, I'm gonna say goodbye to YouTube and see y'all, you know, on another day. Tomorrow is the day. It might be that day. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Thanks, everyone, for hanging. Thanks again for the support tomorrow, kiddo. And everyone else. Bye.